What's up, YouTube? It's Derrick T. We're out here riding again. I shouldn't say we. Well, you're riding with me. If you're watching this video, you're riding with me. But I'm out here solo riding today. You all know by now that it's kind of what I like to do. Okay, let's move this agenda along. On the highway and just do a little bit of riding. Going absolutely nowhere special. Just riding it out. I do have a question for you all, so maybe you all can chime in the comment section. I did a lot of talking in the last video about people who ride vehicles that are not street legal. You know, like quads and dirt bikes and such. You know, people who get out here and they think that it's okay to disturb the peace. And, you know, they gather in quite big numbers. Who's this coming up on me? Somebody on a sport bike that I don't know. All right. But they ride out in very large numbers and kind of disturb the peace. And like I said yesterday, they bring kind of a bad name to the bike scene here in Pittsburgh. But let me pose this question and play a little bit of devil's advocate, because I had a conversation with somebody a little bit earlier today. Even though dirt bikes and quads are not street legal, even though they're not, should they be? Should they be allowed to ride on the streets? I rode a quad. Actually, one of the first times I ever rode anything that was outside of driving a car. I actually did ride a friend of mine's quad when I was probably about maybe 19 or 20 years old. That was kind of my introduction to riding. But should they be legal? You already have trikes out here that, you know, they got 3 wheels on them. You know, so a bike with 4 wheels on it, I don't know. Should it be legal? Is there a way to make them safe and regulate them? You know, obviously have all of the proper documentation in terms of insurance and registration and everything else. Should they be legal? Let's just get a conversation going. I personally don't think I would see anything wrong with it if it was done so in a way that was legal and in a way that is safe. That's probably the biggest thing. I think my biggest I want to be very clear that I don't have a problem with people who ride quads and dirt bikes. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with the vehicles themselves or anything of that nature. Now, what I do have a problem with is when you're riding them on the streets illegally, and when you're, in addition to being illegal on the streets, that you're shutting the streets down because they're riding in packs of, you know, 100, 200 people at a time, and they're going against traffic, and they're riding on the sidewalks, and they're not only putting other drivers and themselves in danger, but they also put pedestrians in danger. I have a big problem with that. But if you're riding a dirt bike or a quad and using it for its intended purpose, I have absolutely no reason to be against that, or to have anything against it. It doesn't benefit me at all to do so. And so I just wanted to get a quick question in and just ask the question to the community. What do you all think? If it's done right and done legal, should it be allowed to be done? I don't know enough about dirt bikes. I'll be the first person to admit. I don't know how much horsepower they have. I don't know how many, I believe they're somewhere between 125 cc's and 250 cc's. Correct me if I'm wrong. So whether or not they can actually keep up with the flow of traffic if you're on the highway or something like that, I don't know. I don't know if that's wise or what. You know what I mean? I don't know what makes them illegal. I just know that they're illegal, in terms of riding them on the street. So, but my question is, should they be made that way? And if so, I think it'd be beneficial for those people who are large proponents of them to take the necessary steps and talk to the necessary lawmakers and follow the necessary process to make that a thing. If it can be done so in a manner that's safe and legal. So that's what I think about it. But let me know what you all think. Drop a comment in the comment section, because I had some people who saw my earlier video and responded to me. I'll just put it that way. They responded, and they didn't necessarily like what I had to say. So I thought I would come out and just kind of make myself clear in terms of I'm not hating on you if that's what you want to drive. If that's what you want to ride. I don't have a problem with that. But if you're doing it in a manner that's safe and you're doing it in a manner that's legal, hey, more power to you. Anyway, let me know what you think, and I think a healthy conversation is in order. On to different topics. I really appreciate the support of the channel that's coming along. The channel is really growing and leaps and bounds. For me, I started it less than 12 months ago, so I'm still relatively new to the YouTube game, but I am learning and have learned quite a bit. And in the meantime, my last check today was 605 subscribers, and that's up from the 500 the last time I made mention of the number of subscribers on the channel. I think it was one of my earlier videos. I think we had crossed 500 subscribers, and now we're at 605. And it's been a relatively short amount of time since we've grown by 105. So, hey, I really appreciate that. And hey, share the channel, like the channel. Let's keep that positive energy flowing. I would really, really like to start working full time to bring you all more and more content. And, with the increasing popularity of the channel, we're getting closer and closer to realizing that and making that a reality. So I really appreciate everybody who's done that, all of the subscribers to this point. If you've liked or commented on any of the videos, and it all helps. It all helps the cause. And so I really thank you all for that. And And you can keep on, if you got content ideas or a topic that you'd like for me to cover in one of these videos, feel free to drop that in the comment section as well. I'm not a full-blown expert in every single topic, but if there's something that you think you'd like to hear from me about, by all means, drop that in the comment section. It's a real nice evening to be out. It's about 7:30. I don't know how many more of these evenings we're going to get. It is September and it is Pittsburgh. So at any given point, I mean, we're already getting to the point where it's 80 degrees during the day and 50 degrees at night. Those numbers are only going to drop the later it gets. So I don't know how many more evenings I'll get a chance to get out and just take a cruise like this. You can tell daylight savings time is starting to go away. It's starting to get darker just a little bit earlier. It's not quite around 8:45, 9 o'clock. It's probably closer to about 8:15 or so. Somewhere between 8 and 8:30, it's starting to get darker. And so you can tell that the seasons are changing. And while I have done some cold weather riding, and I don't mind cold weather riding. I don't do as much cold weather riding as I do warm weather riding. And so when it starts to get into the colder months, particularly here in Pittsburgh, and when the snow is on the ground and everything else, you'll see me start addressing some topics from inside the house and less on the road. Be doing some got a few projects lined up in terms of improving the bike, so maybe I'd be able to do a couple of how-tos or that kind of thing. Nice to not be stuck in traffic right around this area. This weekend, I think I'm going to take another beach ride, another getaway ride. I don't know if it will go to Erie or to some other place. Been researching a couple different places that are just outside of Pittsburgh, like Deep Creek, Maryland, and Raccoon Creek State Park, which is Clinton, PA, if I'm not mistaken. Or Ohio Pile, or Seven Springs, or something of that nature. Probably get out and do something like that this weekend. It's supposed to be really nice. Pittsburgh has two tunnels. That was the Squirrel Hill Tunnel, like I said, the traffic around there gets really bad. You've probably seen it in some of my other videos. The other one is the Fort Pitt Tunnel. That's in downtown Pittsburgh, which we're swiftly headed in that direction towards downtown. Like I said, this is nothing more than just a local ride. I'm not going to be leaving town or anything else like that. Like I said, the biggest thing I wanted to kind of get on and pose a question. I don't mind having a healthy conversation, even when not everybody agrees. Sometimes those conversations can get kind of spirited. Sometimes they can get kind of emotional. But I don't mind having a conversation as long as minds are open. If you're just trying to get on and prove that you're right, I'll gladly tell you that you're right and keep on going with my day. But you know, if we want to just share opposing views and kind of get to see things from each other's point of view, I'm open to those kinds of conversations. I know I've talked about making some plans for next spring, next summer, when things do warm up. And I know Wingding is coming up. And I also know that the National Biker Roundup is going to be coming up too. Both of those in the state of Louisiana. Now, I'm here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so those are some pretty healthy distances for leaving from here. However, you know, with everything that just happened with Hurricane Ida, I will be keeping a close eye on whether or not it's be actually safe to ride into an area like that. That's been, you know, hit and heavily damaged by hurricanes, and who knows what's going to happen by this time, you know, next year. But one being in Shreveport and one being in Baton Rouge, and I know both of those areas kind of took a pretty heavy beating from the weather. So I'll be keeping my eyes on that situation and those rides. But what I am going to do is I'm going to add another plan to the agenda for next year, for next season, and that is the Tail of the Dragon. I am going to ride the Tail of the Dragon, and I'm going to ride the Tail of the Dragon on my dark side tire, which that should I'm sure get a lot of people's attention. I know anytime you start talking about dark siding and motorcycles, you can get some pretty spirited debates going on. You wouldn't at this point be able to talk me off of the fence though. I did dark side my bike, and now I've put over 9,000 miles on my dark side tire, and it's really been just fine. It's really treated me just right. So I'm really happy with it. I've shown this picture before. I'll put one on the screen. This is my tread, and I mean that tire looks brand new, like nothing is. You could probably take it off and put it on a shelf in a tire store and sell it, pass it off as a brand new tire. Yeah, it's been really cool having that dark side tire on there.